Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about the upcoming Sephora VIB sale, which is very exciting. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. So as many of you know, I have my online beauty consulting service. So if you have any makeup in your collection that you just haven't been able to make work for you, this is a perfect opportunity to book a consultation because you can just pick my brain about any beauty concern. So if you want to make an appointment for yourself or if you like to purchase a gift card, click the link in the description box down below. All right, so the Sephora VIB Rouge sale will begin November 5th, which is in a few days, and will continue until November 15th. I will add a few extra dates because depending on what tier of Sephora membership you are, there are different dates for the sale. I will provide an affiliate link. Please feel free to use this link to support my channel, but you have no obligation to do so. All right, so here are my top recommendations, the items that I have used and reused the most. The first thing that came to mind automatically from Dior is, well, the brand Dior, first of all, and their eyeshadows. The 5 Couleurs Couture, this is an eyeshadow palette with 5 shades. And the shade in particular I'm referring to is Soft Cashmere. This is what I'm wearing today on my eyes. I would describe this palette as the perfect neutral cool palette. There is one shade, a matte, that's more brown leaning. The rest are just perfect neutral cool toned colors. This palette is so incredibly user friendly. The shades are so buttery, so easy to blend and use. If you want a palette that's just not very complicated but always looks so beautiful, and you will look very put together with this palette because the quality of these shadows is magnificent, but you won't really be required to do that much work. So this was the automatic first item I could think of. I was like, yes, this is definitely it. After that, I would recommend the lip glow oils. Now, the lip glow oils are very different than the lip maximizers. The maximizers offer you that tingling, minty, plumping sensation. The lip glow oil does not do that. The lip oil is a very nourishing, hydrating lip oil that I think is perfect for the upcoming colder months. It's going to be a really nice protector for your lips. And I have, I think, 4 or 5 of the lip glow oils already, and there are several colors to choose from. Every color will enhance your natural lip color, but in a certain way. There's one that's more brown, one that's more cherry, one that's more orange, that sort of thing, and it actually does tint and enhance your lip color, so there is pigment there. I love to use them over top of a lip liner or even on top of a lipstick. Like once the lipstick starts to fade a little bit, just dab a little bit of lip oil. I think it's a great product. Hi, it's me from the future. I completely forgot to add the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder. I use the shade 3N. It's a fabulous powder for dry, dehydrated, mature skin type. It's a gel water-infused powder that adds blur and coverage without looking dry or cakey. If you have oily skin, it's not going to be for you because it's not mattifying, but it's amazing. I bought mine this summer and I've done this to it so far. It's amazing. I totally recommend it for the upcoming sale. I have to say that I love Dior as a brand, so if you end up picking up something that I personally did not recommend, but it's still from Dior, you're probably still going to love it because it's a great brand. But my last recommendation for you from this brand would be a fragrance. This is the Dior Addict Eau de Parfum. Now, I know that buying a fragrance online can be a little bit precarious, so let me paint you a picture. Dior Addict is an eau de parfum, so it's going to be a little bit heavier. It is lots of vanilla and tonka bean, but it's not too heavy. It is in the gourmand family, but you do not get any heavy syrupy coffee notes. you get vanilla, a light bourbon vanilla scent. You get lots of white florals, which kind of elevates and lightens the fragrance. You get orange blossom, I believe some jasmine, and maybe just like a little tiny hint of sandalwood. So it is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance, but I would almost describe it as a gourmand with some fresh and slightly icy cold notes. So it's not overly warm, it's not overly decadent and heavy. It still hits those vanilla tonka bean notes, but a little bit lighter and fresher. I think it's a great fragrance. I think it is my favorite Dior perfume. I've had some other favorites in the past from the brand, but have been discontinued. So currently, this one's my favorite. Okay, moving on to a different brand, let's talk about Westmin Atelier. This is another brand that I've used multiple different products from, and if you end up buying something different that I did not personally recommend, you're probably still going to love it because it's that great of a brand. The first item would be their foundation stick, which is what I'm wearing today. This is their Vital Skin foundation stick. I'm in the shade number 3. Now, this is definitely your foundation or your skin, but better. It's a foundation that's in the light to medium category. You can build it up to a medium, but you're still going to see like beauty spots and things like that. So it's going to be fresh and light and your skin, but better. And you can make this really sheer if you wanted to, or you can build it up. So that would be my number 1 recommendation. Next would be this limited edition trio set that I really hope that they make permanent. And I have it here. I've been using it, but I haven't had a chance to use it on my channel yet. So in this trio, you get a blush, a highlighter stick, and a contour stick. And there are 2 shade options to choose from. I went with the lighter one. So in the lighter trio, you get Biscuit, the contour stick, you get Lit, the highlighter, and Petal, the blush stick. I love the concept of mini luxury products because it can be difficult to use up an entire makeup item. So I like seeing these more, not sample size, but like mini sizes of products that already exist. And if you want to dip your toe into the brand and just slightly introduce yourself to the brand, I think these little trio kits are a great idea. Now, if you'd like to go for something more full size and just one item in particular, I think that their blush sticks are fabulous. So it's a cream stick, so it's a cream instead of a powder. And the shade in particular that I think is probably the best one is called Mignette. It's a peach shade that's not too warm, not too cool. It's like a perfect neutral peach color. And it's a little bit luminous. Their blush sticks are a bit luminous because they are a creamy texture. So you can wear a highlighter over top if you want, or you can wear just the blush. I find Mignette in particular to be very flattering on a lot of different skin tones. Again, it's in the your skin but better, your cheek but better. Like the entire brand, Westmin Atelier, is very much you but better, just like slightly enhanced. So if you like very natural makeup, very subtle, this is definitely a brand for you. The last item I would recommend from them is their super loaded tinted cream highlighter. So it's a cream highlighter. They have highlighters in a stick or in a compact as a cream. And I have the one called Peau de Rose, which gives you like a soft, warm rose. Again, it's going to be your skin, but better, very, very luminous, very much like lit from within. And you could layer this first and then add your blush over top to make it look like the highlighter is coming from within your skin and you're just so healthy and well rested. And I think Peau de Rose pairs very, very nicely with Mignette. It's just a really great combination. But there are other colors to choose from in the blush sticks and cream highlighters as well. So if you end up picking up something different, I'm certain you will love them as well. Okay, moving on to a different brand, let's move on to Laura Mercier. So these items here, at first I was perplexed by. These are the Translucent Loose Setting Powder Light Catcher. So it is not the translucent setting powder that we're used to from Laura Mercier. That's like the all over powder. This is essentially a highlighter in a loose powder format. They kindly sent me a few of their shades. They sent me all 3 actually. And my favorite one that I have to say is Honey Star. This is like a warm golden peach color. It's what I'm wearing today. I just put some on very lightly over top of my blush just to give like that candlelit glow from within. And it really is just like, it is warmer, but it's like a nice peachy warm glow. So if you want something that's going to be very natural, I find that the loose powder highlighter is a bit more natural than just like a pressed powder highlighter. I don't know if it's because the pigments are more finely milled, but it just gives you a more luminous, more natural glow. And they have 2 other shades to choose from. There's a lighter color called Celestial Light that's more of a champagne, so if you have more fair skin. And then there's Cosmic Rose, which is like a bronzy rose, so if you have deeper skin. So they have a couple shades to choose from. I think they're all really nice. Another item from Laura Mercier I'd like to recommend to you is something that I think has been greatly overlooked, and this is one of their matte blushes in the shade called Chai. So this is a matte dirty rose color. It just looks so incredibly natural, and it kind of looks like a blush that's sort of met a bronzer, and it really just is incredibly natural. And it's one of those little hidden gems that I've discovered recently, and I was like, this is something that I think a lot of people would like. Now, this is a matte shade, but even though it's matte, it doesn't look flat. It looks very beautiful and just looks very, very natural. All right, let's move on to some Givenchy. Now, the first item I could think of right away is the Prisme Libre Loose Setting Powders. They have several colors to choose from. So these are technically matte loose powders, but they're not drying, so they're going to mattify a little bit, but in each one you get a combination of 4 shades that really just helps brighten and illuminate the skin as well as set it a little bit. So I usually use the number 1 original, but then there are 5 other shades to choose from, so it's really for every single skin type you can find something. This is great if you want to set your under eye a little bit, or if you want to mattify, or just make your foundation last a little bit longer. It's a great product. It's one of those items that's been a cult classic for a long time, and for good reason. Next up would be the Sheer Velvet Matte Lipsticks. These are a dream. They are so soft and sheer at the same time. There is zero waxy feeling. It's a matte lipstick, but it kind of gives you like a beautiful blur of lip color, and they have some of the best nudie Your Lip But Better. I think my favorite is number 16 Nude Boisé, and the formula feels almost like a soft powdery finish, and they really feel like nothing on the lips, just very, very light. And what's nice is that these are refillable, so you can actually buy the refills. Like once you have the actual bullet or the case, you can just buy the refills instead of buying the entire lipstick together. So it's nice that Givenchy has found a way to include sustainability with luxury without losing anything. The next item from Givenchy would also be another foundation. This is a liquid foundation. This is the Prisme Libre Skin Caring Foundation. So Prisme Libre, from before the powder, they have a liquid foundation that's similar in theory. So the Skin Caring Glow Foundation will not be matte. It's like a soft, luminous foundation finish, and it's definitely a little bit more coverage, a little bit closer to a medium, but it's a very, very lightweight, light feeling foundation. And if you enjoy a light coverage foundation that feels and looks like your skin with a radiant finish that somehow also lasts a long time, like even though it's lightweight, and has a radiant finish. It actually does perform all day long. It's very impressive. So if you want this type of foundation, especially for if we are entering colder winter months, I know some of you watch me from the southern hemisphere, so you're like, the seasons are flipped over. But if you're in the northern hemisphere, we are entering fall and winter, and so this type of skin caring, radiant foundation is something you would enjoy. And then the last item from Givenchy is a fragrance. This is Lentil Di Rouge. So if you like the classic Interdit fragrance, they have a red edition out, and so this is also an eau de parfum. This is in the Gourmand family. I would describe this as a warm vanilla, a warm floral fragrance. You do get lots of jasmine, some orange blossom as well, some of the white florals, but you also get a hint of ginger, which kind of elevates the vanilla tonka bean warm, slightly spicy notes. So again, it's not overly syrupy, not overly heavy. The nice bright ginger notes just kind of elevate and lighten it a bit more. If you like the classic Interdit, you would love the red edition, and I think it's a great fragrance for fall and winter. I think it's a great fragrance for any time, but especially in the colder months we're unfortunately going to be living through, I think it's a great scent. Okay, let's move on to Guerlain. The first item I have to mention is something that I was persuaded to buy after trying some samples, and this is their Youth Watery Oil. This is a facial oil that is the least oily texture I have ever encountered. I'm sure many of you are familiar with a face oil, and a lot of people don't love a face oil because it feels very oily, it feels a little bit slick. I personally like that comforting sensation, but this is a very, very watery, runny face oil, and you can use it in multiple different ways. You can wear it underneath your moisturizer, you can wear it on top of your moisturizer, you can mix it in a little bit with your foundation to add a little bit of boost and glow. It's a very hydrating and nourishing oil that doesn't feel heavy. So I bought this full size a few weeks ago because I had just been trying the samples, and I get it. It's one of those items that's again on a lot of cult beauty lists for a reason. It really is great. I had to try a sample or two just to, you know, be certain, but I can definitely vouch that this Youth Watery Oil is fantastic. A face oil is great to add to your skincare just to lock in any moisture and hydration, and this one here, especially if you can get it on sale, is a great item to get. Now, I see on the Sephora site that they still have some of the Le Rouge G refillable lip cases. These are part of the fall collection. I bought a few of them, and I have to say, they look better in person than they do online, and that's saying a lot because they look amazing in photo. Like, these are ridiculously cute and nice and just so extra, and Guerlain just really delivers as far as like lipstick cases go. I would recommend any one of these fall cases to you. My personal favorite is the red tartan. I think that one's my favorite, and then possibly the French chevron. They're all great. I think they're all beautiful. It's totally up to you. I think that this would be a great time to get these cases because they are a little bit pricey for what they are, but if you can get them on sale, it's an even better excuse to buy them. But of course, this red tweed is everything. And one thing that the photos online don't tell you is that they are felt, they're fabric. So it's not just like a flat photo. You actually get this fabric that's been sewn in, and it's just so beautiful and so extra. And then of course, we cannot talk about Guerlain without talking about the Meteorite Pearls. These are similar-ish to the Givenchy Prisme Libre loose setting powder in that there is a multitude of shades, so when you mix your brush in together, you get a really beautiful, luminous, unified complexion. I think the Guerlain ones are maybe just like a little bit fancier because they come with the little pearls in the canister. They have a few shades to choose from. They have Golden Pearls, which is part of their holiday collection, which I have here that I have yet to discuss. But I think that these are great options. I think that these are lovely. And so if you want to get these, I think this is a great time to do so. Okay, let's move on to some Charlotte Tilbury. This is a brand that's new-ish to me, but the products that I have been trying, I have really loved. So the first item I picked up earlier this year is a face palette. Now, I'm not usually big into face palettes, but this one changed my mind. This is the Instant Look of Love All Over Face Palette, and this is the Pretty Blushed Pink. Now, there are two shades to choose from, and they are both limited edition. There is one that is ostensibly meant for darker skin tones, but it's not that dark. This second one is called Mauve or Mauve, but I have the lighter one. So you get 3 eyeshadow colors, you get a face powder, a bronzer, and then you get a highlighter and a cheek color. Now, I like all of these colors. I think the highlighter may be a little bit too fair for me, a bit too light. But the thing is, you could mix and match any one of these shades. Like if you want to use the bronzer as eyeshadow, no one will stop you. It is incredibly convenient having a face palette with a little bit of everything. I like this idea of just having one compact with every color that I could use, and I do truly enjoy the shades, especially the eyeshadows are really nice. And overall, this palette has convinced me. I'm like, I get it. I understand why people enjoy face palettes. The next item from Charlotte Tilbury is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is a liquid highlighter. It could be a foundation if you want something very sheer and very luminous. I use the shade 4.5. Yes, 4.5. And what I do is I apply it underneath my foundation for a very soft, lit from within glow. If you wanted to use this on top of a foundation or instead of a foundation, you could definitely do so. It really is just like a really beautiful liquid highlighter, but something about the formulation is very, very fine. So you don't get like a chunky glitter. It's just a very luminous glow. Now, the last item from Charlotte Tilbury is something that is not new, but is somehow new to me. I just personally discovered it recently, and this is their Cheek to Chic blush, and the shade in particular is called Sex is on Fire, and it's what I'm wearing today as my blush. This is described as a tawny rose, so this is in that your cheek but better, natural, rosy but not too pink. It's kind of like a neutral that just looks beautiful and just gives you a nice little flush to the cheeks. This is not a new shade. It's been around for a while, but I've recently discovered Sex is on Fire. I've had it in my collection for a while, but just, I don't know, I guess I decided to shop my own stash and came upon this, and it's just a really great shade. So this might be another item that's been overlooked a little bit. And so if you want a nice blush, I would say it has maybe a hint of cool to it, but not too much. It's a great blush. Sex is on Fire. Okay, moving on to some skincare. I have the brand here called Biossance. I'm not certain exactly. So one product in particular I recommend is the Squalene Plus Omega Repair Cream. So they sent this to me to test out a few months ago, and I am almost done. I'm at like the bottom of the jar of cream. So now that I've been using it for a few months, I feel confident in talking about it. So this is a moisturizer that's better for drier skin types, dry, dehydrated, mature skin type, or a night cream. So I've been using it personally at night. If you just want to help plump, hydrate, and just give you that deep moisture. If you have more mature, very, very dry skin, you could use this morning and night. Personally, for the daytime, I like something a little bit lighter, but for the evening, it's been a really great cream. The brand is vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. So this cream has omega fatty acids that's very moisturizing. It has hyaluronic acid. It also just helps restore and plump the skin. Like, you just look plump and just really nicely refreshed and hydrated and moisturized. So I like to use it in the evening, and I've been doing that for a few months now. However, for the colder months, maybe not right away, but I'm thinking January, February, this could be a really great daytime moisturizer that's going to help you from the harsh winter months and exterior. So it's just a really good hydrating, plumping moisturizer. Okay, moving on to Tatcha. This is the Camellia 2-in-1 cleansing oil. So it's a makeup remover slash cleanser. I love this as a makeup remover. They also sent this to me a few months ago, and this is just a great makeup remover. It's in a pump, so you have the oil. I usually do 2 pumps for like a full face like this, and this breaks down everything: mascara, foundation, eyeshadow. You just massage it really gently onto the skin. You splash some water on, it turns into a milk, it cleanses off, and then you do go in with a second cleanse. But if you enjoy removing your makeup at night as much as I do, as much as I love applying makeup, I think that one of the best pleasures in life is removing my makeup at the end of a long day. And this cleanser is great for that because it takes everything off without stripping my skin and without feeling gloopy. Some makeup cleansers out there, the oil ones especially, tend to feel gloopy and thick. This one is a nice texture. So it's also one of those items that's on a lot of cult beauty lists for a reason. All right, the last product here and last brand is Moroccan Oil, and this is their curl defining cream. It's what I used today before coming on camera. It's a styling cream that I use on days that I'm not washing my hair. So I spritz a bit of hair reviver, hair mist, and then I scrunch some of this curl definer cream. I find that it helps eliminate the frizz, it helps encourage the curl, and it just helps without being too heavy, because some products will enhance or encourage the curl pattern but will weigh it down and just not look great. This one here I find is a really great balance. Personally speaking, Moroccan Oil as a brand has been really great for my curls, whether it's the shampoo, the conditioner, the leave-on masks, the styling creams. I've had great success. So this is another brand that even if you don't buy something that I recommend specifically, I think there's a good chance you will like the products anyway. So I think that is my roundup of my recommendations for the upcoming Sephora VIB sale. It starts on Friday and then continues for about 2 weeks. And on Friday as well, I will have a new episode of my Beauty History series. Beauty History is a series I started here on my channel last year, where I take a deep dive into a fashion icon and talk about their life, their legacy, their impact, and there is a new episode the first Friday of every month. So make sure you set your notifications for that video, because last month we talked about Guerlain, and this month we're talking about a different icon in the beauty world. Let me know in the comments what you plan on shopping. Are you going to do some early holiday gift shopping, some gift shopping for yourself? Sound off in the comments below. So on that note, I think this is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.